Welcome to Downright Shaman. I came on to talk about spoken word and method acting and how the awareness of this, if you can take one of your favorite actors and have an awareness of their experience, like someone like Heath Ledger, who, when they were filming The Dark Knight, they got really into their character. Later on in their life, they ended up passing as they manifested a very dark energy and didn't seem to have the opportunity to keep it in balance at the time. There's many other examples of this. I'm thinking of a movie about Charlie Kaufman. I know that Shia LaBeouf had an experience with this. I'm not totally familiar with all of those. More specifically, Heath Ledger. And more recently, Christina Applegate and her experience with a nervous system issue, a diagnosis of MS. So I noticed that when she had this diagnosis, there was an immediate correlation for me from this Netflix show called Dead to Me. And in this show, there was a lot of screaming, there was a lot of cursing, there was a lot of threatening, abusive sounding kind of language coming from her character. Not necessarily reflecting on her, though I know she has discussed having ancestors that may have had some kind of connection to that rhetoric, which is very interesting that she ended up going into a role in a TV show that was related to that experience to some extent, but I don't know the full story there. I know she has discussed her ancestry at one point. And I found it really interesting because myself, I used to have issues with fibromyalgia, nervous system problems, a lot of chronic pain. I couldn't walk at one point, and I've recovered from this from various different ways. I could get into that maybe in another video. But I've noticed that this person who I've always admired so much, I love their work. They were a Pussycat doll at one point. Like one of the original Pussycat dolls. Like the band. Seriously, like I was blown away when I heard about this. It was really interesting because they did dancing in the show Dead to Me. And they were showing off their abilities. And some of that was coming from their experience when they did dancing at a younger age and being part of the Pussycat Dolls group. So that's just amazing, you know. But I've noticed that Christine Applegate, I'm just using the term they, have been online saying very negative things about their experience and increasing a negative association to the experience. And of all people, I know how that feels because when I was, I didn't have that specific diagnosis myself, but when I was in the midst of the worst of my chronic pain, it literally felt like an elephant was standing on me. It felt like the worst thing in the world, basically, at that time. And I noticed that the more that I spoke about it in a negative light, the more that I took a stance of a battle against that experience, like the fight against pain, the fight against a certain illness, taking on this battle. The more I engaged with that myself, the more the symptoms seemed to increase, and the more my perspective involved such a fighting kind of aspect of it, of being separate from it and talking about it in a way that was just very painful for me at the time, very outwardly focused about it. Again, my symptoms increased, and this has just been something that I have checked in with. I've Googled Christina Applegate in the last year or so, and I found it really interesting how their symptoms haven't seemed to improve after their discussion of the pain, of the symptoms in such a negative light. And my heart goes out to them because I know that they're, such a talented, funny, warm-hearted individual. And, myself, I'm just getting started in my healing journey and seeing what I have to offer. I'm trying different types of content. I'm trying whatever inspires me in that moment. And it is possible. It is possible for them to heal, or to at least manage the symptoms, from taking a stance of speaking about it in a way that is empowering, and speaking about it in a way that manifests a more positive response from the nervous system. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to share about this. I just wanted to share it because when you notice someone like this in the media, and you can actually see like a timeline of what they're going through, and whether it's going in one direction versus another, it's all online sometimes. Like I said, Christina has been posting a lot of their experience online for everyone to be involved with, which is very, very brave of them. It's just interesting how the body will respond to it, essentially. And I'm exploring to see how involved I can be with that. I've recovered from my concerns, a different diagnosis, but a very similar situation of this very intense, disempowering pain at the time. And my approach toward it, and my way of talking about it and managing my symptoms, has completely turned around. And if you're someone that's going through this, you can do it as well. You can do anything that you believe in, as far as your ability to believe and manifest toward a more positive response from your body, turning into a trust of your body, and just improving from there. But I don't want to say too much on this. I'm just exploring with this and getting started with talking about it. So it's helping me just to post something to create the discussion. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you heard anything that you would like me to expand on. Like I said, I'll be exploring various different things. I posted tarot earlier. I'm into crystals, a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll see what comes up.